Ohlers was driving in my summer car. He had to pull over, so he started slowing down. Suddenly, a police car bumped into him, sending him into a ditch where he rolled over. They kept ramming his car. He then got out, and you won't believe what the police did to him. A police officer's arm was just holding a paper with a fine. They didn't get out or even look at Ohlers. This is police brutality. Superperman sent us a very realistic police chase recorded in BeamNG Drive. A police bastion pit maneuvered the fleeing white SUV. The SUV spun out, hit a massive rock, and was thrown back onto the road. The SUV started spinning wildly after it hit the rock on the side of the road. Wayne was playing Need for Speed Rivals. He was driving a Ferrari Enzo when he saw another Ferrari overtaking him. He used a shockwave weapon, which took the car down, causing a crazy rollover. Ron was driving a blue pickup truck on the dangerous road map in BeamNG Drive. The map is full of massive potholes and damaged roads. Suddenly, he saw a yellow sedan attempting to overtake him multiple times. As the driver finally decided to attempt an overtake, oncoming trucks appeared. Ron hit a massive pothole, and then the driver of the yellow sedan crashed into oncoming trucks, which caused the sedan to be thrown back into Ron's lane and hit his vehicle, involving Ron in the collision. Mr. Zayed 7364 was driving a Toyota Supra on car crash physics. He was drifting through a curve on a city street when he lost control and crashed into a building. His engine started smoking, and the front bumper and hood were damaged. Fixing that engine is not going to be cheap. George was racing in F1 2023. As he was going through a curve, he was pit maneuvered by a racer driving behind him. George spun out into the barriers, destroying his front suspension, which led to a DNF. Ollie was driving in East Coast, USA, when suddenly an SUV driving ahead of him crashed head-on with a vehicle that was driving recklessly. Ollie had no time to react, and he crashed into them. I wish we could see the damage of this collision. It was a really massive impact. Ollie was driving at high speed in BeamNG Drive, sliding between cars. As he saw a sharp curve ahead, he knew it was too late already. He hit the brakes, lost control, and crashed into a car before hitting a tree. His vehicle was totaled, and the hatchback he hit was also written off. James was chasing down a new Tesla Model 3 in BeamNG Drive. The chase was at high speed, and James decided to pit maneuver the Tesla. It was successful. The Tesla spun out, hit rocks on the side of the road, and rolled over. Max was driving a Gavril Roamer in BeamNG Drive. As he was speeding through a 30 miles per hour zone, he failed to notice wooden logs on the road that had fallen off a semi-truck that had rolled onto its side. He hit one of the wooden logs, which caused severe damage to his car and destroyed his engine. Camden was racing in NASCAR 2003, this time in an Indy car type race. Check out this insane first-person wreck after he pit maneuvered a racer in front of him. We can experience for a second something like what Lightning McQueen experienced in Cars. The Luxembourgish Ben was parked on the side of the road in Greenville. As he got into his car, a big wreck happened. There was a parked Toyota in the middle of the road, and an approaching driver failed to notice it and rear-ended the Toyota. He also hit a Dodge Ram TRX driving in the passing lane. Heyo23 was calmly driving in BeamNG Drive on the East Coast, USA map. As he was approaching an intersection, a vehicle failed to yield to him. He slammed the brakes before he crashed into the green sedan, which was responsible for the incident. Man, these AI vehicles really need some improvement. Toffee Sandwich was driving an EB shoe hopper in BeamNG Drive on the Utah map. He was driving around the speed limit down a highway when suddenly a car in the passing lane merged into his path, scaring our submitter. He swerved by reflex, lost control, and fell off the cliff, causing devastating damage to his car. SS66 Proit was driving in Roblox, Dorset County. He was driving behind a semi-truck with a shipping container when suddenly an oncoming vehicle went into the semi-truck's lane and crashed head-on with it. Our submitter hit the brakes before he rear-ended the semi-truck. Lorenzo was driving a white SUV in Roblox's Greenville during the winter season. As he was driving in the passing lane, a red sedan started merging into his lane. Lorenzo sped up and squeezed between the curb and the red sedan, but he got too close to a car in front of him and rear-ended it. The impact threw him backward, right into the red sedan he'd just overtaken, and that collision sent him forward, spinning like a roller coaster. Proceed sent us a clip that we can call the craziest bug of this episode. He was playing Ultimate Car Driving Game when suddenly he hit a bus and then an oncoming bus, which caused his car to bug and start sliding vertically on its trunk. TNT Gamers was playing GTA 5, towing a car on a trailer. Suddenly, a vehicle entered their path at an intersection, and they crashed into it at high speed. The guy recording this flew out of the car during the impact and had to be revived. Crashmaster was pulled over with his semi-truck on the Autobahn when an Audi RS7 flew past him. Moments later, a police car flew past him. After Crashmaster went back onto the road to continue his journey, he came upon a terrible collision scene. He saw the burning Audi RS7 that had flown past him a couple of minutes ago. Mr. Zayed7364 was driving in Roblox when suddenly, out of nowhere, he was rear-ended by a Tesla Model Y. The Tesla kept pushing for a couple of yards before they finally stopped.